Alright guys, Kensho here again. So this is part 2 with gearing up your character. You're 2100 now and you want to actually get real gear score out of it. If you followed my previous method in my other video, you would have two weapons that aren't exactly for your class, but it's what's giving you your 2100 gear score. Now, the goal for this is to actually be able to enter hard mode dungeons. Now with hard mode dungeons, it's different because after every single dungeon, you're guaranteed an epic drop. So, that being said, all you gotta do is just get to 21 to be able to actually queue up for a hard mode dungeon, and then with that, you'll be able to actually get real gear that you need and start gearing up your character. So, the first dungeon I'm going to be showing you guys, hard mode dungeon, is you guys should be doing would be Fire Dragon, which is the easiest one. So, I'll head over to the mechanics there and show you. So, like I said, all you have to do is just select your dungeon, which should be Fire Dragon, and then queue up. As soon as you're done queuing up, you can switch back to your actual weapons and your actual gear, and you're good to go. Even if this was under 2100, you'll still be able to queue up. Like I'll show you right now. If I were to equip it, I'm under 2100, but I'm still queued up. All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to the mechanics and show you how the boss works. Alright, so now you reached here. Let's go ahead and get into Fire Dragon. I'd usually like to just check on people's gear in my party. And I see that someone here is under 2100, so it's perfect. It's trying to show you exactly the thing that he's trying to do right now. Just get over 2100, enter the dungeon, and just get started. Switch your gear back. So even though he's under 2100, we're able to run it. So now let me show you the mechanics of the boss. So the main things you need to worry about when it comes to Fire Dragon, in the first phase, he has two phases. So the first phase, he pretty much is just going to keep running around and charging. And when he's running around, which he's gonna do like I want to say 70% of the fight, if he collides into you, he'll be putting a flame stack on you, which will just keep reducing your HP and just keep burning you. The more times he collides into you, the more it stacks up and the more damage you'll take. So you want to just as soon as possible jump into the little blue crystals on the left and bottom of the map to clear it off. Now, besides that, he'll while he's done charging, he'll choose a corner, one of the four corners of the map to stay on, and then he'll either do like a tail swipe, or he'll just start charging. He just does random attacks that are pretty telegraphed and you can dodge. But let's move on to the other core mechanics that you really need to worry about. Now, as I said before, Fire Dragon will just choose a random location on the map to just run in and hide at. So he'll just do a few things. Now, starting with this tail slam that he's doing right now, he will always start with the center and then go either right or left and just pretty much just hit sections that he hasn't hit on the map. So it's pretty easy to dodge. You just always know he's gonna do the center first, so you can just dodge to the side and then you just stay in the center and fight him. Now, besides that, when he chooses to run to the corner, he can also he'll curl his tail up and do like a swipe. Now, with the swipe, it covers a pretty large area of the map, so you either gotta be really far away from him, or you can just be all the way up at his head. If you're up at his head, you're not gonna take any damage from the swipe, but if he's doing the tail slam though, he will knock you down, even if you're actually by his body. Okay, so this is just continuing it on. He's just gonna be running around, just choosing a corner to stand on, and when he finally chooses a corner, he's just gonna do one of those three things. He's just going to either swipe, do the tail slam, or just breathe fire. So you can see here, I walk up to his body, and I wasn't exactly on his head, was I? Yeah, I was. So I didn't take any damage from that at all. So now the slams, you can see him doing the slams. It's easy to dodge. It's not too bad. Almost everything he does is pretty telegraphed. Now this roar, if you manage to actually get off the platform before he roars, then he'll be standing still and you won't be stunned, and you just have free time of DPS. You just want to try to get as many times and moments to DPS him, since he's a very mobile boss. He likes to move a lot. So anytime you get to DPS him is like it's like a treasure, honestly. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on to the last, like, core mechanic he does in this first phase here, which will be the laser. Okay, so in the laser phase, notice the grates are now open on the platform. So as soon as you see him say "Grr," you want to go and drop inside one of the grates to avoid the laser. The laser pretty much one-shots you, and you just want to make sure not to take that damage. It's really easy to tell when he's going to do it, but sometimes it's just finding the opportunity to be able to actually run into the grate and hide. It is pretty tough sometimes, but ultimately it's really simple and really easy as long as you just pay attention to him saying "Grr," and you'll know when to, dodge it. Also, I couldn't really help but notice that the guy who's actually boosting his character is named Naruto? It has the little accent up there. I don't know what I should call it. Like Naruto.
Hey, Naruto. Hey, Naruto, are you gonna be the next Hokage?
Okay. Alright, so just keep rinsing and repeating and dodging everything until finally he gets sick of you and looks like he's gonna do another running, but he's actually going to go and enter into the second phase here, where the fairies come up and they have to put this little blue spell on us, which will allow us to walk on the lava to go after him. So just wait for that to happen, and just you can go ahead and walk on by. Alright, so you see me go ahead and grabbing the spell and just moving all along to the second phase. So, a few new mechanics you need to worry about is that he'll curl up his tail like that and spin around and start spraying the entire map. You need to stand on your priest if you have one. If not, I think if you go towards the left behind the wall, you'll be able to avoid it. But basically, that's just a spray. It doesn't put any fire down on you, so your priest should be able to just out heal you. Going into the vent does not save you from that. Now the next mechanic, as you just saw, he'll get up on his hind legs and he'll start shooting bombs down. And if you're being focused, you want to just back away from that to give the rest of your team some free DPS time. The swipe and the tail slam still follow into this new phase, and it's still pretty simple, but now it's not like a huge area that you have to avoid it easily, so it can become a little difficult. Okay, so now he'll start to spray in smaller cones. Those put the dot on you, so you want to make sure to avoid it now since there's no more cleansing of the dot. So you want to do your best to avoid being sprayed on when you can actually control it. He'll just continue doing bombs, and that's pretty much like the new main mechanics that's being brought into this next phase. The laser is still here, so you can use the vent to obviously jump into and hide from the laser. What I've seen some people do, they would prefer to climb up on the wall on the left side, but I wouldn't suggest that. Honestly, jumping right into the vent is perfectly fine. For a melee class like me, usually what becomes difficult is when the priest will put down like the large symbol here, and it will be hard to see the events and seeing where to go into. So basically I always just stand right next to a vent and I'll just do my attacks and move left and right, and I'll never just deviate from moving left and right, so I can always just walk right into the hole and be safe and sound and not have to worry about accidentally missing it when I can't really see it. Yep. There we go. There's that wonderful symbol I was referring to. So now it's really hard to see the vent, so I just walk left and right on that vent that I'm already using. I just go left and right on it and walk right in, and I'll just be safe. I won't have to worry about looking for a vent to go into when I can't really see the ground because of all the effects, and I'm perfectly fine that way. If you want, you can go into the settings interface and just hide all other effects from the game, but I like being able to see what other people are doing, even though it's potentially getting me killed. So, such is life. Alright, so that about sums up the entire Fire Dragon fight. All you gotta do is just follow those steps and you'll kill him just fine. Now, you're guaranteed purple drops, but you aren't guaranteed things for your class specifically. So if you do get them, just dismantle it, and as soon as you have 40 of the shards, you'll be able to just get a box with those shards and choose whatever you want. If it's an armor piece, then you'll get 10 shards for everything you dismantle. If it's a weapon piece, then you get 5 shards for everything you dismantle. Once you get 40, you can just go ahead and pick what you want. So it's actually really simple, honestly. It's not too bad. And I, from my experience, was able to get the one for my class every single time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll go ahead and work on the next video, which should be Balrog, and I hope to see you guys on that next one. Thanks for watching.